Ready?
Yep.
Hello, everybody! Watching us live on twitch.tv/Vince Russo Live and also on our YouTube channel. I am Vince Russo. I am here with the great Billy Bhatti of lockbetting.com, of podcastonthepole.com, of thedirtysheets.com. Billy Bhatti in natural light today, as beautiful as ever. What's going on, Billy?
Hey, how you doing, Vince?
Billy, let me see that shirt. Unzipper that shirt because I think I see Razor Ramon and Bret Hart. Let me see what this shirt looks like, bro. Stand up a little bit. Oh, that's Bulldog. Okay. Oh, wow, man.
Oops.
That is nice. I never seen that before. Who is it? Bulldog and Bret? Wow.
Yeah, they're just like match shirts that I bought out. And I went to this, so I got it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that was a UK event. That's a nice shirt, bro.
That's SummerSlam 92, the main event, yeah. When they were here at Wembley.
They're saying now we're having trouble streaming to Twitch. This may be an issue on Twitch's end. We'll keep trying and let you know if it's resolved. Okay, but we are live on YouTube. Classy Chappie, thank you for the donation. Happy Friday to you too. All right, Billy, it's here, bro, the granddaddy of them all. A lot of stuff, bro. It took a lot of time, but a lot of stuff played out, Billy, exactly like you said, with them changing their mind and making decisions week by week by week. You were trying to stay with this. You were sticking to your guns. Obviously, bro, you were talking about this triple threat months ago when nobody else was, and obviously the triple threat is taking place. So, Billy, any late-breaking WrestleMania news? Now, Billy, I want to ask you about this. This may be something you may be discussing over on the Nitty Gritty Dirt Show on patreon.com/Russo TWC. Bro, we know the cuts come right after WrestleMania, bro. We know the chopping block comes down. Could you give us a little tease? Have we heard anything about that we could talk about on the other side?
You know what? I think under the current climate, I think it will be a case of more people wanting to get cut. I've heard, like, in terms of more people wanting out as opposed to people being pushed out the door. And obviously with your boy Tony Khan over there signing anything with a pulse that came from the WWE, that obviously doesn't make it as scary to be fired, even if you are fired. But there's some guys, I think, that believe that they'll walk into jobs over there, and some people that are just done with the wrestling business completely. Because in the current situation, depending on how you are with your money, it doesn't take long. You only need 1 5-year deal in order to be financially secure. If you don't stay in like 5-star hotels, and the drinking culture is completely gone. I remember when I was out with Drew McIntyre, Heath Slater, and Alberto Del Rio, and I was talking to Del Rio, and he said to me, I only came here from Mexico. I was talking about CM Punk and something at the time. I was a Punk fan. I was actually maybe even wearing something with Punk, maybe a cap or something. And he goes, this guy's a dick. He's ruined everything. He goes, I didn't come here for this shit. He goes, only a few cool guys like Drew and Heath will even come out drinking anymore. He goes, I only came to America because I knew about the partying and everything that happened in the WWE. He goes, and now I've come here, it's all gone. He goes, even Cena was cool for like my first couple of years, and now Cena goes to bed as well. So that whole thing, that whole drinking culture, wasting your money and all that is gone. Yet the contracts are more secure and they're making more money than ever. So when you're looking at people like R-Truth having a bunch of kids and having a bunch of houses and never main eventing anything, although he's had contract after contract after contract, it doesn't take too long to build up your 1 or 2 million. And you can live on that. If you're sensible, like 1 or 2 million pounds can last a long time. Like you can make it last. So you can at least, pay for your house completely without having a mortgage.
Well, Billy, not only that, bro, you could take that money and, bro, today they could just piggyback that right into social media. We see what Zelina Vega has done. We see what Paige has done. So if you've got $1 million in the bank and you've got 5 years of equity in the WWE, and then you parlay that on social media, bro, you should have no problem living, Billy.
No, that's the thing. Like these people are managing to get out, and the thing is, sometimes you just don't want to be in the wrestling business, whether you've got $1 million or not. You sometimes get sick of the politics, the letdown. I mean, even like someone as young as Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's looking to get out on a next contract because she's tired of being told that they're going to be doing stuff with her. There's heat on Bo Dallas because Bo Dallas left like Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt left his wife for someone younger in the WWE, left his wife for JoJo. And Bo Dallas left his wife for Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan's fed up because she's not used properly and she's promised, this and that and whatnot. And yeah, people like that will leave. They'll just, they'll go and do something else. People always turn around and go, oh, what are they gonna do? Well, what do you do? Like you're not in the WWE and the AEW. The people asking these questions, like you all managed to clog your money together to waste it on AEW pay-per-views. So I mean, these people will have lives after WWE. So some people, everybody goes, oh, are they going to go to AEW or are they going to go on the independents or Japan? No, some people will just go and do something else. This is not the end of the world. Like you don't have to be in this business. This business can be really shitty to some people because you don't hear many stories about how good it was to everybody every single day. Everyone says this was tough, or the traveling was tough, or the politics was tough, or the broken promises were tough, or the injuries were tough, or my body feels like shit. So there's more bad stories than there are good in terms of reasons to get out. So yeah, it's not a case of you got to think outside the box. It's a very Markish mentality when someone leaves or wants to leave to start thinking about what company they're going to go to next.
Yeah. Billy, I got to tell you, one guy that, listen, the way that I've been watching them book Lashley lately, I'm saying there's no way they can switch this title at WrestleMania. They'd be absolutely out of their mind because they've pushed him well. He's done a good job. But on the opposite side of the coin, gosh, bro, Billy, one guy that I'm worried about, that I'm a big fan of. I've had numerous contact with him over the years. Bro, the way they're beating Elias to death, I have to wonder, is Elias at the top of that list? I mean, my God, bro, I don't think they've beaten anybody worse at the WWE than Elias.
It's weird because there's been little bits and pieces where they were talking about doing this with him and doing that with him and whatever. But yeah, I don't know what the issue is with him because he seems like he can speak and he seems to have a look. And everybody can work decently now. I don't think that's really.
I think I know what the issue with him is, Billy. Elias is the type of guy, bro, because I've gotten to know him a little bit through social media. This is the type of guy, bro. I don't think Elias is married. I don't think he has a family. He's thinking about the business and his character 24/7. He is constantly, bro, going to them with ideas, constantly. They don't like that, bro. They don't like that. It should be the complete opposite. When a talent is coming to you with so many ideas, you should be embracing that talent. For God's sake, you should think about putting that talent on creative. But with the WWE, when you go to them with multiple ideas, bro, for some strange freaking reason, they don't like that. And all of a sudden you find yourself in the doghouse. I mean, Billy, how do you do business like that, bro?
When was it last time? I believe you did it. What year did you do Steve Austin's podcast? He asked you to come on.
Man, bro, that was probably about, it had to be at least 3 years ago.
Did you know about this situation in terms of how guys were coming up to them with ideas and they sort of bury them for it? Because he's a guy who's known for burying the current talent and saying that, you got to take the ball and run like I did. You got to pitch your own ideas. You only get one shot at this. you need to go off script. Like, he's very, very critical of, and the guys, there's actually a lot of hate on Steve Austin with the roster now internally, because they got sick of him continually saying this, because he doesn't know the inner workings of it. But did you know the inner workings back when you spoke to Steve? Like, could you maybe have put him straight?
Well, bro, that's the thing. It's like, that's a tough call, bro, because, bro, see, Vince can receive that differently, Billy. It's like, if they don't like, I'm going to say this hypothetically. I'm just going to say this hypothetically. Say Bruce Pritchard doesn't like Elias for whatever reason, who knows? Bro, if Bruce Pritchard doesn't like Elias, and Elias is the type of guy that's going to pitch idea after idea after idea, they're going to use that against him, okay? However, if Vince McMahon does like the talent, then Vince is going to like, oh, bro, you're grabbing that brass ring, you're coming to me with ideas. Then Vince is going to like that talent. So it's a weird dynamic, bro, because it really depends on what side of the fence that talent falls on. Basically, what Steve is saying is true, but Vince knew Steve Austin was money. He knew Steve was money, so he listened to Steve, let Steve get involved, took a lot of Steve's ideas. Steve was part of the process. Now, Vince may look at a guy like Elias and think this guy is not money for whatever reason. So if Vince thinks a guy isn't money and you take the Austin approach, bro, you're going to be out on your ass. So it just really depends what side of the fence you fall on with Vince McMahon, bro.
Yeah, I'd be interesting to see what other guys, what side of the fence other guys fall on, because whether it be a Drew McIntyre or people like that, people whose I don't think have been booked well over the. I think if Drew finds himself in a position where he doesn't go over this weekend and is just one of those many champions, Kofi Kingston, Seth Rollins, all of these guys that had a run, like Kevin Owens, one of these guys that they made champion and decided actually he's here and he's not here. If they decided he's here and not here, and he goes down and becomes an upper mid-card babyface, that's on them. But also,
that's the other problem, Billy. That is the other problem, exactly what you're saying. I am telling you from a professional point of view, somebody who's been there and done that. And Billy, I don't need to tell you this, because Billy, you were a star. You were on Big Brother. Then you were getting paid big money to be in these clubs. You are a star, so you understand how this works. Here's the problem with that, bro. Bro, you and I look at a guy like Drew, and we're like, are you effing kidding me? Like, if you can't get this guy over to movie star status, you have no business whatsoever having this guy's future in your hands. If you can't get Drew McIntyre over, you can't get anybody over. But here's the problem, Billy. They've failed to get him over. They've given him absolute shit. You can watch every Drew performance and see this guy did the most with everything they gave him. You could see it, but they gave him shit. But now the problem is, Billy, they don't blame themselves. They don't look in the mirror. Their out is Drew couldn't get over. That's the out they'll take when Drew couldn't get over because they gave him shit, but nobody will ever take responsibility that they gave Drew shit. So, man, Drew's in a real shitty freaking place, bro, because of the company he's working for.
I'm concerned that the company, they want to get out of this period. They never want to see pictures of the Performance Center again. They never want to see pictures of the Thunderdome again. They want to forget about this entire COVID period and what they had to go through. And I don't think that when we look at great WrestleMania moments that these pictures and things are going to be reused. I think they're going to be banished to the depths of history like Chris Benoit. My concern is Drew McIntyre
a part of that?
The COVID champion, the guy who carried them through COVID. And is he now too stained with COVID that he becomes a part of the whole reset?
Great point, Billy. That is an absolutely great point. But let me tell you something, bro. When you look at Drew and you have failed with Drew, you are a failure. Drew is not the failure here, bro. They are the failure, but they will never say, yes, we failed Drew. But bro, that is a great point. Will Drew be looked upon by them as part of that COVID culture and that bad taste in their mouth they want to get? Billy, that's a great point.
But at the same time, here's another point about it as well. Nobody ever came back from the burial of being a goof playing air guitar who was jobbed out. He got pinned by a midget. He got pinned by a midget and got released and came back, smashed it up on the indies and came back and made them make him the world champion. So he's come back from much worse than them tagging him with something that like this. So I think he can overcome it. I think that he can maybe even turn heel and use this in a heel turn and go, you labeled me as the COVID champion and now I'm really pissed. So and we all know that great heels become great baby faces, because if Roman's best chance of being cheered is after he turns face from what he's doing now. So Drew still has that Roman run in him, but I'm just worried about the next 6 months.
Billy, do you know how long his contract is?
No, but I imagine he signed a new one at some point recently because
Billy, bro, here's the problem. This is the problem. Just like Charlie Caruso. Bro, do you know how many years Charlie Caruso was doing ESPN and WWE? I was screaming at the top of the mountains, Charlie, get the F out of WWE, because that's bringing you down. Get out. I'm sure they're paying you good money, but it is not helping your career. And eventually it's going to be a career killer, because in these backstage interviews, they're going to make you look like an idiot. And then you're going to go to want to work for a legitimate company, and they're going to think, well, this girl looked like an idiot working for the WWE. They're not going to understand that everything was scripted. I was screaming for her to leave the WWE. Finally, she did. Now she's got a great role at ESPN. They just signed her on full time. I swear to you, Billy, if Drew had a freaking good agent, bro, Drew can follow in the footsteps of a Batista and a Cena and a Rock with the movies. This guy with his looks and that Scottish accent could be I hate to use the comparison, bro, there's no reason he couldn't be a modern day Steven Seagal. This guy has it all. Bro, I'm sorry. I know Drew loves wrestling. It's beneath him. He's better than them. He's better than the spot. And bro, if he got an agent, he's been there long enough. He knows Batista. He knows those guys that can get him the hookups. Bro, this guy should be John freaking Wick.
The Rock said that Drew McIntyre should be the face of the company. Like, he was on social media putting him over. I mean, numerous people have put Drew over before WWE pushed Drew. The ex-WWE stars were pushing Drew. The legends were pushing for Drew. I mean, even now, when you see someone like Mark Henry this week on a show that I watched saying that Drew McIntyre, you haven't even seen a small sample of what he can do, because he's a guy that thrives on crowds. And when the crowds are back, he's going to be even better to watch, even though he's the guy that carried this company on his back through this period. So that's the main concern. Yes, he is 100% the guy that saved their ass during this entire period. But like, is he going to be tarnished with being the face of the period? That's my concern. And I hope that
very concerned. All right, what are we going to talk about on the other side of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Show? Give me a little tease, bro, of what we're going to discuss over there.
It's all WrestleMania. We're going to talk all about WrestleMania. We're going to talk about how there's a game-changing development in terms of WrestleMania this year. Something WWE are going to be aware of that they've never really been that aware of before. It's going to be right in their face, coming via one of their sponsors. So we can talk about that. I have to do. I want to talk about Tony Khan and AEW because I'm a mark for Mike Tyson. I have Mike Tyson.
I know you are. I know you are.
And when
did you see the number they did with Tyson, bro?
I did not.
Oh, they shit the bed, bro. It was like 700,000. They did a horrible number this past week.
Well, they got my viewing tonight because no matter how terrible they are, they'll always get me back with Tyson because I watch everything Tyson does, even like movies and whatever. So I will be watching that show tonight. But the wrestling fan of me wanted to, in fast forward, catch up with stories and everything that they're doing. And God, I have some observations. Someone's just said here
688,000. That's right. That's what they did, bro. 688,000 viewers, bro.
Also, there's a guy here saying, what price is Reigns to retain at Mania? He's the second favorite in his match. He's 6-4, which is plus 150. Edge is the favorite in that match. We'll talk a little bit more about betting on the other side as well, because I obviously have I want to get some people onto my site this weekend. Yeah. Big weekend for my stuff.
Yeah. What else was I going to say? There's one other thing I wanted to say to you, but okay, yeah, well, yeah, lock betting, bro. Listen, I'm the guy. I try to think the way they think because I know Bruce, I know Vince. I try to think the way they think. I've been saying all along, you can't touch Roman right now. You can't touch Bobby Lashley right now. I've been saying that all along. But the closer and closer we're getting to this, especially when you're telling me about the odds in the three-way, Billy, okay? Here's what I'm starting to think in my head. What I'm starting to think in my head is, bro, they don't really know what to do with Roman and where to go with him because he's basically been doing the tribal chief and Heyman and all that shit literally for months now. 4 months now, bro. He's been doing the same thing. So that's telling me, okay, bro, they are at a roadblock with Reigns creatively. Now, in their mind, do they take the title off of Reigns by putting it on Edge by having him pin Daniel Bryan? Because now Roman wasn't beaten. It was Daniel Bryan that got pinned and caused Roman to lose the title. So in their mind, now Roman is not scarred. And they don't know what to do with him creatively. So this is an out for them. And now this can set up Roman Edge one-on-one going forward. I mean, Billy, I would have to think that's the only reason Daniel Bryan.
The only issue with that is that the Edge and Roman are both playing heels at the moment. But I mean, I don't think Bryan's winning it because the whole time, the reason I was saying Bryan's going to be in this match since Christmas was because Bryan is supposed to be done with WrestleMania after this match. It's supposed to be his last one. His contract's up in September. And that was the information I had. The information I also had was that it was going to be Sheamus and Drew. And all the evidence suggests that that's going to be the case. Some guy, even a brand guy, messaged me this week saying, I know you, how come you're so, he goes, you're so quick to say you were right about Bryan, but you were totally wrong about Sheamus. Totally wrong. I wasn't totally wrong about anything. Like the proof is out there. I'm going to deliver the proof on the other side when we talk about it. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not looking to even get people over to my wrestling Patreon. Like when I did the show, when Vince asked me to do the show, I didn't ask any money for it, like any money to even do it. This whole wrestling stuff, this is not covering this doesn't pay for anything that I do. Lock Bane does, and Big Brother did, and the opportunities that come by way of that. This place I live in is all like paid for. I don't have a mortgage, so my outgoings can be in order to essentially survive, can be very, very small. So for me, this was all about exposing the people that do this fraudulently, and also wanting the acknowledgement and the respect. But that just doesn't seem to be happening. The way that the journalism, or lack of journalism, works in this industry, this wrestling community, it seems to be completely skewed. Like they want to only give you the information from certain people. I can be out here screaming my head off and giving you the right information time and time again and winning people money. It doesn't seem to matter. And I think coming on to now this is the third platform that I've been involved with and it's a whole new audience, and everybody can see I'm not just talking shit now. Like we're now nearly we're 10 months into me being on here. everything has come to fruition. Rhea Ripley is in a title match. That came from nowhere. Like when I said it, when I put it all up on the chalkboard and broke down the Mania card and the changes, the heel turn I said has already happened. The Bad Bunny match was turned into a tag. There's proof that Sheamus was supposed to be in that match in terms of a documentary and in terms of a promo video that I was sent that was shot with him as champion that isn't airing anywhere. I have it. I'll show you on the other side. Daniel Bryan did make that match. He will retire. So everything is correct, even about this WrestleMania. We didn't get there at first, but we got there in the end. The only reason that we didn't get there is because the writing's so bad. Gone are the days where WrestleMania has the correct 7 or 8 weeks to build to it. Back in Vince's day, the second pay-per-view after Royal Rumble took place in early February or mid-February. And then we had that nice, clean, long build to really, really make you want to see WrestleMania. I don't know who really, really wants to see it. I have a 10-year-old in the other room, and he really wants to see one match, which is the three-way, because he doesn't know who's going to win. And sometimes you can sell a match purely on the fact that you don't know who's going to win. If you can't pick a winner in anything, like that's the intrigue of two guys fighting in the street. Like, who's going to win? Like, and I saw like something this week where an ex-NFL player challenged, got beaten up in a fight to a guy who worked in the checkout, and the checkout guy won. And it was filmed and it went viral. So that's the intrigue always. If you can sell unpredictability, you can succeed. But so lockbetting.com is where everything is this week. If you want all the betting packages, if you want the MLB, NBA, everything, I sent Vince one of our top plays this week. And even, that play won and they win 75% of the time. But even if it lost, like the detail and the research that went into it, you can see like how like the top plays come across. Like even if you did lose that play, you wouldn't have felt like you wasted your money because the work gets done. We do the work. But that play that I sent Vince won. We've had a really good start in MLB. If you just want wrestling stuff, it's thedirtysheets.com. That's where I break my news, and you can get betting packages over there. I do a podcast every Tuesday with Cav called The Dirty Sheets. Vince actually appears on our show this week. We did an extra show, which is a betting show. And my son's Instagram is at Austin's Toys and Games. And I'll talk about Podcast on a Poll quickly because it's out this week. It's the April episode where Vince is more involved in creative. It's the formation of the Hart Foundation. We have loads of stuff going on with Steve Austin. Brian Pillman comes back in as well. And a little insight into the whole rockabilly situation and the fact that was supposed to be Disco Inferno. So Podcast on a Poll and podcastonapoll.com is the Patreon for all the superstar profiles. This week, the new one is Shawn Michaels Part 1.
All right, guys, that is it. Me and Billy are going to go jump over to patreon.com/Russo TWC. We're going to do Nitty Gritty Dirt Show. Billy's going to give you all the insights that he talked about here. We will see you on the other side, bro, for the great Billy Bhatti. See you on the Nitty Gritty Dirt Show.